I would invite everyone. I want to show everyone our community, which is, and I'll share the link here. This is where you can ask questions, where you can find accountability partners if you would like to. You can post here. I would love to start working every day or regularly, and I need somebody. I need my accountability buddy. You could post it here. Right now we have 92 members. People ask me questions. I try to visit this every day and answer. So let me put it in the chat here. So you can go to the chat and let's see if it took. Message. Boom, boom. Good. Give it a try. Click on in the chat on the link. You may need to, if you haven't never been there, you may need to create an account or something like that. So there may be some password or something that you have to do. This is outside Facebook's, outside social networks. When I was making decision whether to do it through the Facebook community group or not, I decided outside in order to make it non-destructive. So you don't go like, oh, cats videos, oh, something else that algorithms know our brain better than anything else. This is just for our exchange, our purposes for getting our knees better. So here you can ask questions. And in terms of, yeah, I see, Deborah, you posted. In terms of the knee circuit, soon in September, I'll do another webinar, free webinar for people who may want to join the Outstanding Knees course, which will be, we'll do some promotional discounts. So I would say in the first 2 weeks of September, you will get emails from us about that free webinar. And during the free webinar, I will do a promotion for the Outstanding Knees. And within Outstanding Knees, there is, of course, the knee circuit exercises. We may actually make it available for people sooner. So that's another communication. And I think that's all from me. If you have some questions or if you wanted to say something at the end, please unmute yourself. I'll stick around for a few more minutes.
Thank you. Hi, it's Eugenia.
Hi, Eugenia. So nice to see you.
Yeah, I've had a lot of challenges because 2 months ago I had an accident. So this has been good for me to do this because the sensation at this moment is, it feels like my right buttock locks into my knee when I start to take a step. And it just reminds me of what I can do for myself along with the physical therapy that I've been going through.
Small steps. Look for, just like I always think of first thing is assessment. First is assess where you are. And then second thing is stop. Stop what brings pain. And sometimes it seems like obvious thing, but it's what Dr. Feldenkrais called one of his books, elusive obvious, right? We know it we know, but we know and we still don't do. Or we know I shouldn't be doing it, but I'm doing it because of inertia or because I don't want to give up. So first thing is assessment. Second thing is look for what creates more pain, whether it's walking, whether it's standing. If walking where? How long? 1 block, maybe it's okay. Half a block, it's okay. If I go more than that, it triggers pain. So stopping. And then the third part is what to do, finding movements like those opening gates, something that, oh, I can do this. And that actually felt good. Great. I'll come back to this tomorrow too. I'll do it again. Great. And this way you gradually build your menu of options.
Thank you.
Yeah, great. David, you have your hand from before or still from
It's a new question.
new question?
So how long will I be able to access the floor exercises through the replay?
Through the if you sign up, if you register to Outstanding Knees, you have it for life. It's yours.
So will I get the replay?
Or if you're talking, if you don't have Outstanding Knees course, you will get the replay of today's session tomorrow. We will send it. Look in the emails. I'll do that. And I did that. I did the recording separately, so there should be a separate recording of these.
How long will it be accessible to me?
I think it will be accessible for a while.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Nay, and then Hanya.
Hi, I have a question about the knee popping. From sitting to straighten it out. Can you hear me, Mary?
Yeah, I can. Knee popping from sitting to standing up.
Yeah, and actually just any time that I strain the leg, it will pop, and I'm trying to differentiate whether it's because of the kneecap or the screw or mechanism that you talk about. And I couldn't figure out which one is responsible.
Yeah, so one thing that you could do if you ever try taping yourself, like KT tape, you can get it in any, not grocery store, but like CVS or pharmacy, KT tape to put, and you can find YouTube video. I believe in our, I did a response. You will find it in the knee hub in the community. There was one person who asked me about taping, and I believe I included a YouTube to the knee taping techniques. If not, if you type into the YouTube how to tape kneecap to stabilize it, this is an easy way to differentiate if the popping is from the position of the kneecap, because sometimes the kneecap goes off the track, and that when it readjusted, it pops back in. So with taping, that will be my first thing. Tape the knee to stabilize it. You're creating a little bit a hole around the kneecap to keep it in the groove, and see if that changes. Sometimes popping can be from meniscus. It can be from deeper structures within the meniscus. And then it's how to avoid it is by changing the angles of the feet. For example, if the foot is too turned out, or if the knee and foot mismatch, that may be creating some compression on the meniscus. So that will be the second part.
So would there be pain if that's the situation?
If it's, it would be, it most likely would be. And popping in itself, it's not anything that we should really be worried about, or at least in physical therapy, in the rehabilitation, we differentiated between pain and clicking. Some people just have clicking, like clicking knuckles, and it's not harmful. It's just, it can be from the gas within the joint, that in certain movement, the gas gets pulled all together and there is a snap. So
I hate to take up so much of your time, but it feels like that the bony part of the knee actually shift just a little bit, realign itself, and then I'm perfectly fine. It's like right now in my hearing, I have my knee bent, and then I just straighten it, and then it popped, and then nothing else happened. And so, and then I remember one time in the course, I think Hannah asked a question about, she said a long time, and then she had problem getting up and had pain. And I think you explained to her that she can move the kneecap periodically when she's sitting. And I cannot do that. I cannot move my kneecap when I'm sitting.
If the knee is bent, it will be very hard to move it. If the
Okay.
knee is straight, if you straighten the knee, like right now, as you're sitting with the leg long, see if you can put your one finger on the outside kneecap, thumb on the inside, and see if you can make that little bit floaty movement of the kneecap, right and left, and up and down. With the knee straight, you should be able to move it. When the knee is bent, it falls into that groove, and usually it's just snugly sitting there, so it won't be floating, and you wouldn't even want that much movement there, because this would mean that the kneecap might be too unstable, that there could be too much movement of.
Right. I think when my knees are straight, I can move the kneecap.
That's right. So that's what I meant. Like when sitting, straighten the leg and manipulate it a little bit right and left to warm it up. Right,
Sure.
left, up and down to warm it up.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Anya.
This is a question about someone I've met who had a knee replaced. The other knee has problems, but it won't be replaced because he has major medical problems. And of course, the person walks in a strange way, and he tends to never bend the knees. And I would like to tell him that going to you might make some change. But if the person is so afraid or really cannot bend the knees, is there much that one could do to benefit them?
Well, we always start with where they are, right? In the Feldenkrais method. So if like when somebody doesn't bend the knee or straighten, they still could work on the quadricep and hamstring isometrically. They can do straight leg raises. There's already some points of entry. And then you start to mobilize ankles, and in the sneaky way through knees and through hips, through ankles and through hips, the knee will start to move a little bit, and then hopefully you regaining confidence, like, oh, that much I can move without the trouble. But I would definitely start without, like, you don't want to...
I mean, no, what I would like to tell him is to recommend that he goes and sees you.
It would be best if he
came one-on-one. But the question is whether I oversell it and say that you might restore more, because what I don't understand is, he has a lot of mobility, but restricted. And I see that even the knee that I suppose was operated, he tends not to bend it. And I suppose that that's more the way he has learned to do things than his ability,
It could be. I see people, one person comes to mind who had hip replacement, but actually a little bit too late, because she just didn't want to hear about hip replacement, and she was walking with the Trendelenburg sign and dipping and dipping and dipping. The doctors replaced the hip. The structure was perfect. They X-ray rechecked it, was just sitting beautifully, perfect joint. But here she is walking again with this dip,
in the same way.
Same way. So for sure, if somebody suffer for a long time, they learn the patterns, and just changing hardware is not enough. You need to retrain it. But here in his case, it will be like how to spark that initial even hope that something can change, because a lot of people might say like, no, it's not gonna get better. I tried already and it was painful. I don't want to do it. And
that's what I'm going to try.
Yeah,
but I don't want to oversell it. I want to.
Yeah, but he should come for a one-on-one session, because
I mean,
it's a hit and miss.
It's no way that would I recommend your course. I don't think he's ready for that. But it would be a good idea if he checks with you, and maybe you can give him some hope if he wants to engage.
Yeah, for people like that, I would probably speak more about my credentials and the Hospital for Special Surgery affiliations, that we are somewhat qualified. maybe that will be like, oh, maybe okay, that's all right.
Yes, I definitely thought about that.
Excellent.
I would never question your qualifications.
Thank you, Anya.
Okay, thank you very much.
Joan and Anne. If Joan is not ready, then Anne.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you now. Okay.
Thank you, Merrick. So during this session, I hurt my groin. So I hurt it earlier this year,
Mhm.
and what the physical therapist did was distraction. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
And so when I'm not in physical therapy, I do it on a step,
Mhm.
and I dangle my leg,
Dangle the leg and let it hang.
and then I do circles and forward and back. Do you think it would be beneficial if I did that tonight?
Yeah, of course, of course. Did it happen with a straight leg raise? Because that's a
I I'm not sure. You know, I aggravated my groin and my back. So I
Mhm.
just said to myself, I feel like when this is done, I should go to the step and do something.
Absolutely,
Uh-huh.
absolutely. And
Okay.
maybe even ice, sometimes ice or heat, depending on your history. What
Yeah. And
anything to calm it down.
okay.
Some maybe buttock squeezes could help
Okay.
to create a little bit more of the sensation of space. Because yes, the movement, the circular movement, it was kind of quite a lot of movement on the hips. So if you fragile there, it's again, it should be done just 1/10 or 100th of what we did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I appreciate that. And do you think ibuprofen would be a good thing too?
I think if it worked in the past, yeah, of course, you
Thank you so
will
much.
nip it in the bud. Yeah,
Exactly. Okay, thank you.
great. And
Yes, thank you for taking my question. I've done Feldenkrais off and on for decades, but mostly off. Part of the, when I get through a lesson, I always feel like I've benefited so much, but part of my problem is that when I lie down on a flat surface like a floor for more than a little while, my head feels really weird.
lightheaded? Is it
And I kind
lightheaded?
of feel dizzy, so it makes me not want to do it all that often. Do you have any idea why that would be? Or yeah,
Some,
like a headache or dizzy. And it doesn't happen when I'm lying down in my bed, just when I'm lying down on a flat surface like a floor.
I would check if doing some of these movements or lessons on the bed would be the solution to that. One clear thing to check is whether the position of head matters, like putting pillows versus not pulling pillows, like on the flat surface. There may be a tendency of flattening and elongating of your whole spine, including your neck, which may trigger some of those vestibular lightheaded, the kind of responses. So one thing is do it on the bed, do it with the bed with a pillow normally as you sleep. The thing is that sometimes, since we are reorganizing the nervous system, it's actually quite normal. Like in the training program, when we were doing Feldenkrais training, there was very common experience of many people to stand up and feel nice, but feeling a little off, like I'm above myself, or a little strange sensation of lightheadedness. If this passes quickly, it's not a big issue. But if it detracts you from doing the work, I would check it, like why is it, what's happening? And the pillow, do it in the bed, do some lessons just in sitting position, and see if that there are lessons that are all only done in sitting, not lying down. That would be also something to investigate.
Okay, thank you.
Great. All right, so Nay, you have one more, and Lila, and then we'll finish.
Okay, I'm sorry to take your time. I'm just wondering, I know a friend who I would love for her to take your classes. She has a complicated tear in her meniscus. And nothing is being done right now because she kind of went past the pain phase. But my concern is that I think she needs to have some more work, even though she might have to have surgery sooner or later. But do you think this knee course is good for her?
Depending on how, because you see, sometimes we need little hand holding. Sometimes it's better to do one-on-one session with a person because just like Joan, that she did, many of you today had a great outcome and feel nice, but there's always the chance that there is too much movement. There is movement that triggers some discomfort. So especially if there is the vulnerability of meniscus, and then somebody does too many rotation, like those screw home mechanism movements, this could be. So it's hard for me to say. I would start probably in her situation with one-on-one session. If she could come for even one session, then I could help her make that decision whether the course is for her or whether she should do more of the one-on-one or continue with physical therapy.
So I'm in Chicago. So you can do it with Zoom and so forth.
I see people all over the world through Zoom, yes. So one-on-one could be.
Because I think she can benefit from a lot of this because you are really very, very good in figuring out how things work. And I think the amazing part is that you're able to pinpoint and focus on certain things and explains it so very clearly. And along with your anatomy, it's fascinating. And as many courses I've taken, I forgot some of them. Like today, one of them was with the hamstring. I thought, yeah, I should have done that. And then, and every time I review a course in the past, something new came up. So I kept thinking that it's amazing with your style of teaching. And it's fascinating, and I really appreciate it. So I was hoping that I can persuade other people to take it because I think they would benefit so much from it. So
I appreciate so much your kind words. So lovely. I'm touched.
yeah,
at your service. I love. You see, this is work. I love my work. This is fun. This is not work.
Yeah, and it shows. So
it's
you're
good.
great.
It's
Thank you.
Good. So, but yeah, try to see if she would join on Zoom one-on-one to schedule a session, because I think in her situation it would be better to do it
Yeah,
one.
I think so. I agree. Yeah, it's hard to persuade people to do the right thing.
Yeah, I know that. I know that. All right, Leela, last question, and then we go to check how.
You can hear me.
Yes.
Yeah, it's more a reflection. I mean, I absolutely agree with Nai when she talks about your quality of teaching, because it's beyond teaching. It's a passion that you have and a clarity that you express and a profound dedication to make it, to help everybody. I have been a lot, you know that one of my things is exploring, but I read a lot. Lately, I have been reading a lot of material neuroscience. That's what we are now. But my thing is always body image, you know, especially functional body image. That thing, a body or self-image, because it's a wholeness. And all the classes that you have been teaching on Tuesdays lately, and the balance with all the lines and connections and all the variations are exceptional. I am always fighting. I improved a lot, but you know, always with this problem of the knee connected with the spine, because everything is together. And then came the big, call it aha moment, concerning all these intricacies that I have with body image and neuroscience and all the Feldenkrais that they have been doing practically all my life since very young, indirectly and then directly. And one thing that is always is how we develop, you know, this is for everybody. For me, I ended up with a conclusion this week, transitional conclusion this week, that we develop a body image of the self, of the organs, of the skeleton from perception and feelings. So we don't know where the heart is until we feel the beat or it hurts. We don't know where the stomach is as a child because it hurt or because I felt the tummy full. We don't know, and then we start developing. The brain will develop where things are. As we always say, we talk about the hip joint, and people always put the hands in the crest of the pelvis, saying my hips. In a sense, the brain has all this inside, and then the Feldenkrais. This has to do with the dizziness and all these weird feelings after a lesson. It's just the adjustments, the little adjustments that happen through a lesson of the perception of the self is so intense and profound that, of course, when you are coming out of this situation, sitting on a bed or wherever, you have to come very slowly, because that's my conclusion. Because it's all these adjustments and little things that were happening through the lesson. If you do an abrupt movement, the brain doesn't know where it is. The same way that, I was reading an article the other day that they are thinking that people have strokes and other problems, but it's not necessarily because the organ or the cholesterol or the blockage. Is because somehow the connection with the organ and the brain was doing things that is I have to do the psychosomatic whatever. But we have to somehow connect to ourselves with a level of caring that you transmit when you teach all the time. Caring for every instant, every little minimum, these moments of clarity that through the lesson are so many, and the more we get smarter, are so intense, that then I was thinking in your fight for, okay, it's not the goal, it's not, winning the tournament, is what is happening. Because if a lot of things were changing and improving, maybe a lot of stuff has to be dropped slowly but surely on the way, and then the rest, rescuing this new self that is happening all the time, like a clay dough that is continuously enriching and growing and being better and better to the self, and then it will be better for the others. I'm sorry. I close with this reflection because
thank you, Lila. No, it's I think very helpful, especially for the person who said that she feels dizzy, and because you were spot on that those rearrangements in the body image, they are disorienting. They are disorienting, and it needs to be taken with, like you said, with that care, with that honoring those changes, allowing time for the brain to get used to in the new sensory schema, right? In the new way of perceiving yourself. So it's very, very wise what you just said. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. It's just I ended up in reading these articles because of people being over medicated. And then the brain gets so confused because the relationship with the organ, there was a whole thing about this. And then it would cling on me and say, oh my God, what we don't listen. We are it's all minimalistic connections that are happening. There's no room for sudden movements right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Great. All right. Thank you, everyone, for sharing the time, for spending the time, for being curious and practicing together. And until the next time. Bye-bye.